Hello everyone, I am Eunice and I'm working as a functional English and life skills trainer in Naipunya Vikasam. In this video, we are going to learn about Cloze Test. What is a Cloze Test? Why is it important? To whom is it useful? And also the tips and techniques of the Cloze Test. I will also be sharing few examples with you for a better understanding. So to start off with the Cloze Test was first introduced by Wilson L. Taylor in 1953. But the term was termed as closure procedure. The idea of closure procedure is wherein the reader should use the surrounding context to restore the omitted words in the given passage. So a Cloze Test is a passage, it's an exercise where a passage is provided with a certain words missing from it. It's basically a combination of fill in the blanks and reading comprehension. So the students need to be guess the words which is to be filled in the blank in a Cloze Test. So why is it useful? It is useful to improve our language, our English language. It also improves our grammar, vocabulary, etc. It is important for the students who are going to write competitive exams like SSC, bank, PO exams, and there are many competitive exams which has Cloze Tests. The marks depends on the exam. Some exams will have for 20 marks, some exams will have for 10 marks, some exams will have for 25 marks. It depends on the exam. But if you need to score well in your competitive exams or as a part of syllabus, it is very useful to follow all techniques and tips in a Cloze Test. So now we will get into the tips or the techniques of a Cloze Test. The first tip is we need to read the passage thoroughly. We need to read the passage slowly and line by line without leaving any word, because in order to understand an idea or a concept of a passage, we need to read it slowly. If you're not understanding it, read it again. You can read it 2 or 3 times to get the idea or the concept of the passage. So that is the first and most important technique to use. And the second technique is linking the sentences together. Do not make a mistake by treating an individual sentence, because in a passage every other sentence is linked to one another. One sentence is linked to the second sentence, and second sentence was linked to the third sentence. But do not ever make the mistake of treating a sentence as an individual one, because in a passage obviously there will be a linking on the sentences. So we should read a whole passage in one idea, not as a different or individual sentences. So that is the second technique. And the third technique is we need to see the type of the word to fill in. We need to check whether is it a grammar, or is it a parts of speech, or is it some kind of figures of speech. So we need to see, is it a pronunciation, is it related to prepositions, is it related to grammar, is it related to vocabulary. We need to check all those before we fill the word. And the next technique is tone. Tone of the passage is also a very important technique we need to check. The tone can be sarcastic, the tone can be mourning, the tone can be sad, the tone can be happy. So if we get the idea or the context of the passage, we will also get the tone of the passage. So we need to read the passage thoroughly 1 or 2 or 3 times, but you need to get the idea of the passage. That is the next technique. And the next technique is to identify keywords given in the passage. Listen this carefully. In every Cloze Test, before and after the blank, there will be a keyword or a hint or any clue that you may fill in the blank. In any fill in the blanks, there will be given clues before and after the blank. We need to find for the clue or the keyword or the hint. If we find the keywords, then it is very easy for us to fill in the blank. So these are the few techniques you need to follow in order to gain good marks in a Cloze test. So now I will show you few examples in which you need to understand in a clear and better way. So we'll follow the examples now. Okay, so this is a very short and easy example for you to understand. Now we'll get into the passage. Today I went to the dash and bought some bread and peanut butter. I knew it was going to rain, but I forgot to take my dash and get wet on the way. For this easy passage, we don't even need options. So we'll fill the blanks now. Today I went to the dash and bought some bread and peanut butter. So where do we get bread and peanut butter? Obviously shop or some grocery store. So the first blank can be a shop or a supermarket or some grocery store. So the first blank, because they didn't give any options, we can fill the suitable word over here. So the next blank, I knew it was going to rain, but I forgot to take my dash and get wet on the way. So as I said earlier, before and after the blank, they will give some clues. The first one here we've spotted is rain. So when it's raining, what we will carry with ourselves in order to not to get wet on the way? We will obviously carry our umbrella. Okay, so the second one is umbrella. So now we'll just read once again. Today I went to the shop or supermarket or store and bought some bread and peanut butter. I knew it was going to rain, but I forgot to take my umbrella and get wet on the way. So after finishing doing Cloze test, you just read it with the blanks so that you will check whether it's a correct one or a wrong one. You will get to know whether it is suitable or not. So after reading, also after filling the blanks, also you need to just give a read once, and we will move to the next example. Okay, this is another kind of example. In the previous one, they didn't give any options. Here they gave choose the correct answers also. So first we will read the passage. One day Maria made pudding. First she opened the dash of pudding mix. She poured the mix into a dash. Then she took a carton of dash out of the refrigerator. She dashed the milk into a measuring cup. Then she poured the dash into a bowl of pudding mix. She dashed the pudding mix and the milk. Then she put the pudding into the refrigerator. So now we need to fill the all 6 blanks, and they also gave choose the correct answers here. We can easily choose the answer. So we'll get into the passage. One day Maria made pudding. Okay, first she opened the dash of a pudding mix. So we have 4 options here: stir, jar, box and bowl. So we need to negate the options now. We need to eliminate the options. By doing elimination process, it is easy for us to guess the answer. So first she opened the dash of a pudding mix. Stir, box, jar, bowl. Can stir be suitable for this? Obviously stirring is something which we whisk or whip into a bowl, but this is not opening, so we are cancelling option 1. And we can't even store our pudding mix in a jar, so we are cancel this also. And bowl, we can't open a bowl because a bowl does not have a cap, so we are cancelling this as well. So the only remaining option is box. So one day Maria made pudding. First she opened the box of a pudding mix. So see, now it is suitable, so we are writing here box. She poured the mix into a dash. Next we are moving to second blank. Option A bowl, option B bake, option C jar, option D cooker. So she poured the mix into a dash. Can she pour a mix into cooker? because it's not cake, we are cancelling the cooker option. Bake is also related to cake, so we are cancelling this as well. Can we pour the mix into a jar? Obviously no, because we cannot whisk or whip in a jar. So I'm cancelling the option jar as well. So the remaining option is bowl. So I'm writing here bowl. Okay. Then she took a carton of dash out of the refrigerator. Carton here it can be a packet or it can be a box. It can be anything which is used for storage in the refrigerator. So the options here are milk, drink, juice and egg. All these can be stored in our refrigerators. But we need to find the suitable blank. Then she took a carton of dash out of the refrigerator. See, because the hint is refrigerator here. But all these items are stored in refrigerator. So now what to do? We need to get into the context or the idea of the passage. The idea or the context, what is Maria is making a pudding. So for pudding we don't need egg. We will not use any juice. We will also not use any kind of soft as well as hot drinks. So we are cancelling all these three options. And the only remaining option is milk. So now the option is milk. Then she took a carton of milk out of the refrigerator. See, now it is suiting. So after filling the blanks, you will just read it out so that you will know whether it is suiting or not. Now we are moving to next blank. She dashed the milk into a measuring cup. Okay, the options are stirred, beat down, poured and spill. She dashed the milk in a measuring cup. She stirred the milk in a measuring cup. We cannot stir because the measuring cup will only be of this size. So we are cancelling the option. And we also cannot beat down in a measuring cup. We cannot even spill in a measuring cup. So the only option remaining is poured. So we are writing here poured. So she poured the milk into a measuring cup. Then she poured the dash into a bowl of pudding mix. So options here is cook, milk, batter and mix. Then she poured the dash into a bowl of pudding mix. What is required here? Cook, because we are not cooking. In a pudding we will not cook because it's just a mixing and refrigerating process. So I am cancelling the option 1. And batter, because there is no batter in pudding. If it's a cake, we will make a batter, but now there is no batter, so I'm cancelling the option C. And so once again we'll read this. Then she poured the dash into a bowl of pudding mix. So she's pouring something into a mix. So there is already pudding mix, so there is no option here. The only remaining option is D, milk. So we're writing here. Then she poured the milk into a bowl of pudding mix. And the last filling the blank is she dashed the pudding mix and the milk. See, there are 4 options: stirred, bowl, moved, shaked. So she dashed the pudding mix and the milk. She moved the pudding mix and the milk. Obviously we will not move, so I am cancelling the option moved. And she bowled the pudding mix. No. She shaked the pudding mix. Obviously no. If she shakes the pudding mix, it will go on the floor. So I am cancelling the option last one also. And the only remaining option is stirred. So I am writing here. So now all the blanks are filled. We have done it through elimination process, and now we will read the passage once again so that we will know whether the words are suited or not. Okay, so one day Maria made pudding. First she opened the box of pudding mix. She poured the mix into a bowl. Then she took a carton of milk out of the refrigerator. She poured the milk into a measuring cup. Then she poured the milk into a bowl of pudding mix. She stirred the pudding mix and the milk. Then she put the pudding into the refrigerator. See now, everything got suited. So this is how you do a cloze test, by doing elimination process, by negating the options here. You will get the cloze test to answer, and you will also acquire good marks in a cloze test by doing this elimination process and by following all the tips I have mentioned. So thank you for watching.